Think spending 22 years in school makes you smart? Most folks buy into that, but we're here to bust that myth wide open. Truth is, you can nail 80% of any skill by learning just 20% of the knowledge. Everyone knows the struggle of trying to get smarter through endless memorization and snooze-fest tests. The old school approach just doesn't cut it anymore. Research shows 54% of people read books to boost their knowledge. Yet, most of us still follow an education system where our brains dump info right after the test. Let's explore some straight-up practical ways to boost your intelligence, without wasting 2 decades in classrooms or faking a love for classical music. Why most smart people's advice is total baloney. Those well-meaning relatives once swore classical music would turn you into a genius. They were as wrong as that teacher who claimed gum would stick to your intestines forever. Yikes. The blueberry and classical music myth. The famous Mozart effect is one of the most overhyped science discoveries since someone decided chocolate was a vegetable. The original 1993 study showed a tiny 15-minute boost in spatial reasoning after listening to Mozart. That simple finding morphed into Mozart makes you smarter, and parents started blasting their kids with classical music CDs. Harvard researchers decided to check out this musical miracle and found something interesting. Music training didn't affect kids' cognitive skills. Yet, over 80% of American adults still believe music improves kids' grades or intelligence. Go figure. When IQ tests make you dumber, intelligence sometimes makes you dumber. The ironic part? Smart people get better at defending totally wrong ideas. Smart people tend to fall for the gambler's fallacy twice as often as other. Max out their credit cards more often, despite their high IQ. Become surprisingly skilled at justifying their own biases. Smart people aren't better at overcoming their biases. They excel at creating complex explanations for why they're right. They often use their intelligence to build an even more intricate fortress of justification when faced with contradicting evidence. The thing I love is that intelligence doesn't protect you from making dumb decisions. A University of Toronto study found that fair and impartial decision-making has little connection to IQ. It's like a superpowered computer running on buggy software. It processes stuff faster, but it might crash when trying to download common sense. The one thing you really need to do. Looking for the secret sauce to becoming smarter? Ditch the Mozart CD and grab a book. Science has finally given us something that actually works. Why reading trumps everything else? Reading isn't just about looking smart in coffee shops. It's a cognitive powerhouse. Studies show that just 6 minutes of silent reading can reduce your stress levels by 68%. Reading works faster to calm you down than taking a walk or drinking that expensive chamomile tea. Here's what makes reading your brain's best friend. It rewires your brain for better thinking, strengthens your emotional intelligence and empathy, develops critical thinking skills naturally, reduces stress better than music. Reading doesn't just fill your head with facts, it physically changes your brain's wiring. Your brain lights up like a Christmas tree when you're deeply absorbed in a book, and not just in the language centers. How to read without falling asleep. You might say that's great, but I fall asleep on page 2. Let's fix that. Your bed is kryptonite for reading. It's the strongest sleep trigger you have. A desk chair or your favorite coffee shop seat works better, where you're upright but not uncomfortable. The quickest way to stay awake is to take strategic breaks every 25 minutes. Think of it as interval training for your brain. Bright or natural light helps. Your brain interprets dim lighting as a bedtime story signal. The pajama trap can mess with your reading, wearing anything that reminds your brain of sleep. You're fighting a losing battle if you're wearing your favorite fuzzy bunny slippers while trying to read about quantum physics. Annotating or highlighting key points makes the reading stick. It's like having a conversation with the book, without the weird looks from people around you. Active reading helps you retain information better than passively skimming pages. Note that becoming smarter isn't forcing yourself to read boring academic texts. Choose materials that actually interest you. You're more likely to stay awake reading about dinosaurs fighting robots than trudging through advanced statistical methods for watching paint dry. How to sound smart without being annoying. Ever notice how some people can share interesting facts without sounding like a walking Wikipedia? Let's figure that out. The art of casual knowledge dropping. Research busts the myth that smart people have no social skills. Studies show that smarter people tend to be better at reading social cues and responding well. You don't need to know everything. Just learn when and how to share your knowledge. Knowledge works like seasoning. Too much ruins the dish. The goal isn't to prove you're the smartest person in the world. You want to create engaging conversations where everyone feels part of the discussion. Research shows people prefer working with friendly teammates over highly competent ones. When to shut your trap, seriously. Here's something surprising. Your voice has an expiration date. Studies show that talking too much leads to what experts call listener burnout. The more you talk, the higher your chances of saying something that makes you seem less intelligent. Watch out for these signs telling you to zip it. People giving short, dry answer. Others starting to physically drift away. Conversation partners checking their phones repeatedly. Your voice becoming the only one in the room. Making others feel smart too. The real secret to sounding smart? Make others feel brilliant. Research shows that people who ask for advice are often seen as more competent. Taking notes during conversations makes others feel like their opinion matters. The thing I love, studies have found that emotional intelligence boils down to knowing when to be quiet. Despite this, it's not just about silence, it's about active participation. People find you intellectually stimulating when you show genuine interest in their thoughts. Smart people in social settings display behaviors that make others feel valued and respected. This doesn't mean hiding your intelligence. It means creating space for everyone to shine. You can refer to other people's earlier points or ask them to expand on their ideas. Note that you shouldn't hide your intelligence. Use it to lift everyone up in the room. Without a doubt, this approach makes you seem smarter and helps build stronger, more meaningful connections. You no longer need to rob a library or hack into Harvard's database to access a quality education. Tuition costs have skyrocketed by over 130% in the past 2 decades, so it's time to explore some perfectly legal alternatives that won't land you in academic prison. Legal ways to learn stuff. The days of free education, which means stealing your roommate's textbooks, are over. We use platforms like Khan Academy to provide free, world-class education to anyone, anywhere. The content ranges from quantum mechanics to why dinosaurs didn't wear pants. There's something for everyone. Some totally legal and surprisingly good learning resources include PBS Kids for simple skills and self-awareness, Education.com for worksheets and guided lesson, Wide Open School for virtual field trips and live stream event, Finding free knowledge without getting arrested. Your savings account doesn't need to be emptied to become smarter. These platforms provide everything from early math to advanced calculus, plus subjects like economics and public speaking. The secret world of free online coursing. A whole underground, but totally legal world of high-quality courses awaits you. Platforms like Coursera, edX, and Udacity have transformed access to education. These aren't just random YouTube tutorials on how to make origami from spam emails. We're talking about real courses from top universities. The best part? These platforms let you learn at your own pace. You can study in your pajamas at 3 a.m., and no one will judge you for eating cereal straight from the box during lectures. Just like traditional education, these courses cover everything from data science to digital marketing. The thing I love is finding materials that match your learning style. Between free books and course websites, you can learn almost anything, from playing guitar to advanced math skills. These resources can help you master nearly any subject, unless you're trying to become a certified neurosurgeon. Please don't. The quality also stands out. Professors from top universities design many of these courses. You get access to practical learning opportunities and real-life applications. It's like having a prestigious university in your pocket, without the crushing student debt and awkward freshman orientation games. Actually using what you learn. Your brain isn't exactly a steel trap. Studies show that humans cut their memory in half within days or weeks, unless they revisit the material. It's like trying to hold water in a colander. Stuff just slips through the cracks. But don't sweat it, we're gonna fix that. Your brain ain't a steel trap, you know? It's more like a sieve. Truth is, we forget like half of what we learn within days or weeks, unless we brush up on the stuff. But don't sweat it, we're gonna fix that. Practice without looking like a total noob. You know that sinking feeling when you try something new and feel like everyone's judging you? Research shows it's your brain's not belonging sensor kicking in. Here's the truth. You can't learn without embarrassing yourself a bunch of times. It's like learning to skateboard. You're gonna eat pavement before you land any sweet tricks. The solution is to jump right into the action. Kids bounce back from fails naturally, So when you learn something new, own that space. Even if you accidentally tell your French teacher you're very excited, instead of "it's hot out." Oops. Making knowledge stick in your brain. Your brain's not just lazy when it forgets stuff. Studies show learning fades based on how meaningful the info is and how you picture it. These proven techniques help keep the knowledge locked in. Teach others. When you teach something to someone else, it's like you learn it twice. It's like a game of pass the knowledge, you dig. Get hands-on experience. Practice makes perfect, as they say. It's like learning to cook. You gotta make a bunch of dishes before you nail that perfect cake. Make personal connections. Your brain latches onto stuff that matters in your life. It's like when you remember your best friend's birthday, 'cause they're important to you. Real-life situations to test your smarts. Intelligence is more than just memorizing a ton of facts. It's about using what you learn to solve real-world problems. It's like when you gotta assemble some IKEA furniture and follow those crazy instructions. Someone with a high IQ might ace a math test, but struggle with everyday stuff, like organizing a surprise party or fixing a flat tire. So, ready to put your learning into action? The best way to learn is by doing, so get out there and do it. And don't forget to take breaks every 25 minutes to avoid burning out your brain. It's like a gym workout, you gotta rest between sets. And the best part? Studies show that critical thinking skills are way more important than pure intelligence in real-life situations. So, focus on grasping the deeper concepts instead of just memorizing facts. It's like when you learn to play chess, you gotta understand the strategies, not just memorize how the pieces move. Alright, folks. Ready to turbocharge your intelligence? Remember, learning is like riding a bike. You're gonna fall a bunch before you get the hang of it. But don't give up, 'cause intelligence is a skill you can totally develop. So get out there and show the world how smart you really are. How's that for a slangy, Americanized, and humorous continuation?